Just waiting for Shane. Hold on.
Okay. Are you live already?
I am. Oh, there you go. Shane. Yes. Go live. I think this is so funny. Hey.
Hello?
Yeah.
Oh no, am I frozen? Hello?
Where's your picture at? Can't see your
It's
picture.
crazy. Like, we live in a day and age where it's like, it's weird. Like, you have to get used to. Like, I remember like 4 months ago, I would decline FaceTime calls because I don't want to be seen. But it's like, it's a learning curve, right? Like, you gotta get used to being seen now.
Yeah, for sure. Shane, where did you go?
That Manoa Wi-Fi though.
No Wi-Fi. Where is he? Alright, let me. What is this? Let's try that again. You gotta love like.
Just like
Hello?
guilty pleasure of mine
What?
is watching news fails. like, like you know, like post-COVID or during COVID news fails, because a lot of reporters are doing stuff at home. And so if you or anybody has a chance to ever look it up, it's one of the most funniest things ever. Like kids coming in or cats and pets,
Yeah.
internet issues, pretty awesome.
Hey.
Yay!
Shane.
What up, what up?
What up? How are you?
Hey, Shane, that
I am good.
Wi-Fi though.
I know, right? That's so crazy, you're my neighbor.
I know my friend used to live in that house too, but like a couple years ago, they lived downstairs.
Who's your friend? Oh, downstairs.
Yeah.
Man, how you doing?
I am good. I'm good. How are you guys doing?
We're good. Yeah.
Doing great, as good as everybody else is in this crazy time, hurting for
I
the
know, right?
country and for people, but also just like inspired and hopeful for an alternative.
Yeah, definitely.
future. So
I know it's good that it sparked a lot of people to actually research and realize what's really going on. Like there's so much information now that's being put out on social media for people to really understand. And I mean, it's sad, but yeah, it's also really good in a sense that more people are getting educated about this.
Oh yeah, for sure. For sure. I'm definitely learning. You know,
Oh yeah, me too.
I'm glad there's more information being put out there because I mean, researching on my own is just not enough. Like,
Yeah.
so yeah, it's definitely dope. All right, let's do this proper. Uh,
Whee!
yeah. So this is the sixth Sickled podcast.
Sick sold.
Today we have someone that I've known for a while. I don't know about Larry.
yeah, I know Shane for a minute.
Yeah, for a minute, right? I'm excited because this is the first time I'm going to actually hear like your story. Like I've never had this type of conversation with you. So for me, like that's what I'm excited about. Well, all the way from Studio 808, we have Shane. Welcome to the podcast.
Woo!
Hey, woo, Broncos, wow.
I think I'm excited too because like Shane represents a brand new studio. I mean, even though Shane has danced with many other studios, because I think he's an OG like us, but he also advocates for kind of like cross studio connection and unity. At least
Big
that's how
time.
I see you, Shane. You can correct me if I'm misspeaking for you, but
No, it's
I think
absolutely
that you're
correct.
bringing in Studio 808 to the conversation because we predominantly had 24/7 and Hype. I think it's exciting to have somebody from Studio 808 to represent and kind of add to the conversation. So thanks for being here, man.
Yeah, thank you.
It's an honor. When he first asked me, I was like, are you sure? Like, you've had people that moved away and started dancing for a living and, such exciting and fun stories. I'm like, it's just me.
Oh man, don't do
No,
that,
yeah,
Shane.
no.
About this podcast is not to create another sense of elitism. There's so much of that already. I think for
True.
us, the heart is just bringing the dance community together in general, but in specifically, it's bringing the dance community here in Hawaii together. So whether or not you danced abroad, you're still a part of this sub community that exists here in the performance industry of dance in Hawaii. So please don't downplay. You're a teacher. You're a dancer yourself, and you have something to say. And so glad you're here, man.
For sure.
I appreciate that.
All right, let's do some warm-up questions.
Uh,
So
the dreaded quick fires.
we'll start off easy. Like favorite food.
Japanese food, I would say.
Ooh,
What kind?
Ramen and sushi.
Sweet.
Sashimi. Oh, sashimi.
And dishes.
What was that?
Where was one of your favorite ramen dishes from?
Oh, what is that place called? Sansei. They have truffle ramen.
Oh, interesting. I've never heard that before.
It's crab meat and truffle. So good.
Hey, that sounds good.
Oh, also truffle. Anything truffle, I'm down. Like, truffle is so misrepresented in Hawaii.
Us local people don't know that like that, so we only know
Right?
mushrooms.
Like when I go to Trader Joe's, I'm like, oh, truffle, put it in my basket. Oh, truffle. I have a basket full of just truffle stuff.
Nice.
Yeah.
Favorite movie.
Yeah. There's a lot. I think the one that sticks out the most is probably Fifth Element
Ooh, good one.
Ooh,
That's
nice.
a good one.
because it's got a little bit of everything, I think, and I'm very into that superhuman, that fictional fantasy, futuristic kind of stuff. So, yeah.
Hey Shane, who is somebody that inspires you?
Larry and Brent. Well, I mean, you guys really do inspire me. Like being able to do more than just one or two different genres of dance. It's like you guys do jazz. I'm pretty sure you guys done ballet, as well as hip hop, b-boy, jazz funk. You guys pretty much do it. You like another good example is like Mark Deliver. He's amazing at anything he does. Yeah, so there's truth in that. Other than that, though, like Lady Gaga inspires me. Um, just the messages that she brings forth and what she speaks and what she stands behind. It's very like I'm down with that.
Okay.
Yeah, where'd you grow up?
I grew up in Aiea. up until the third grade, and then I moved to Kapolei and lived there until I was about 18. Moved up to Makakilo. Yeah. I moved many other. I've lived almost everywhere on this island, but that's like where I like the places I grew up. I'm like a local gypsy. I don't know.
Here's a fun what's currently in the trunk of your car.
Is that what?
What's currently in the trunk of your car?
The trunk of my car is like a storage. I
I realize
have to clean.
a question. That's a good one to hold in the pocket if you really want to get to know somebody.
Yeah, I throw all kinds of stuff back there and I forget that it's back there. I don't even. Yeah, it's probably very unimportant things. I haven't gone through my trunk in a while.
That's so funny. Okay. What's a guilty pleasure?
Uh, YouTube and Netflix.
Nice.
Like, I could be on that all day. I do.
Piano
Not especially nowadays.
What channels do you find yourself on?
Um, well, I used to watch a lot of like not really makeup tutorials, but more. I'm really into like the special effects makeup tutorials because that's like a lot of makeup tutorials. I'll watch it. Well, nowadays I'll watch it and it's like it's entertaining to watch because I just think it's fascinating the whole process. But when I see people use special effects like uh, what is that called, like plaster and all that kind of stuff, it's really cool. Um, yeah, yeah, it's just a lot of random stuff, a lot of dance channels. Like I've been on a Vimo binge. You guys heard of Vimo?
No.
No.
It's this crew in the mainland, and they are pretty dope. It's directed by I don't even know her name. This black girl. She's so crazy. She's so good. Anyways, yeah.
What's the last show you binged on Netflix?
Okay. So I've been.
Everybody, I know we got like thousands of people watching. This, but those of us who like want to get to know people in the digital quarantine age, a good way to get to know somebody is what's the show they're binging or the last binge watch.
So it's really funny because okay, so I've been committing myself to watch the DC comic shows. So
Oh,
like Arrow, Supergirl,
Interesting.
Flash, Legends of Tomorrow. And it's funny because I was just watching one of them, and it got to a point where they had a crossover episode, and it was like the second part of the crossover, and I had to watch a different show in order to understand that one. So I was like, oh, sad. I watched from the beginning of another show, got to that episode, and then they did another crossover with another. So I ended up watching, like, getting into four different shows just because it was damn crossovers. So, so now, like, I finally got it up to like where it's they're all in the same, I guess, timeline, and
oh,
so I'm like watching one by one and like gradually working my way. I mean, I love it because I love, like I said, I love that whole superhuman, superhero, Marvel, DC, all that stuff. I was watching like uh, Agents of Shield, which is the Marvel side. They
mm.
um, before that, also I was watching a lot of like magician, witches, Sabrina, all that kind of stuff.
Sorry, going back. Sasha said that's how they hook you. They do the.
No, for real, they're so smart. I hate them. And like I want to watch other shows, but I don't want to have to like have to go back and recall, like, okay, wait, why are they doing this again? And like,
That's funny. Okay. How did you start dancing?
the question we've all been waiting for. So I actually, before I got serious into dancing, um, my first dance experiences was from summer fun. Like I remember back in kindergarten, we did like this bond dance. In the third grade, we danced to Aisha from ABC. You guys remember that song?
Yeah.
Aisha.
Ah.
Um, it was from that like I noticed that I had like a natural ability for it. Like I remember, I don't remember like details, but I remember when we were learning it, the teacher like put me up in the front because I was having the easiest time, and so that the other kids could follow. And then in the fifth grade, for May Day, we had to do the Icky Breaky Heart. And I remember this one. I remember distinctive. Like I was the one that I was one of the few that caught on really fast. So what we did was they scooted all the desks together to create room on the in the classroom, but also so that like me and a couple other students would go up on the desk and dance up on the desk so that they could follow us. I was like, oh my gosh, thinking about it, I'm like, that was my very first go-go stage.
Get it. Yeah.
In the fifth grade. um, and then in high school, we I just did a couple of things like for talent show or like for assemblies, like the iconic Britney Spears in Sync mix. The when they did their collab together, I did amateur choreography thing to it. Um, But how I really got into dance is from, I don't know if you guys remember, well, I'm pretty sure you guys remember, Don Balaran.
Don Balaran.
Yeah. I remember Don. He's a man.
Yeah. So when I started dating him is when he was my gateway, my gateway drug, I guess. When I started dating him, I gradually started taking his classes.
Yep.
Um,
That's when I remember you. Yep.
yeah,
That's
and I
Yep.
then I saw Larry and I was like,
Whatever.
I wanna, Larry, you knew I had like, you're like, never mind. Let's not go into that. Everybody loved Larry. Everybody had a crush on Larry.
Yes.
Everybody thought Larry was the hottest thing, and it was even more so that he was doing jazz. I was like, and he does jazz. Damn. Like to break those masculinity boundaries, it was so attractive. So I think that's why too you guys were so hot. I mean, you guys still are, but you guys were like wow, they do everything, and like it's not like for a gay person to look at you guys and be like, I love it that these straight men are dancing what is the non-stereotypical style of masculine dancing, but still be able to I know a lot of straight guys have a hard time with doing more feminine dancing and all that, or feminine dancing because they're worried about people questioning their sexuality. But from my point of view, like I never did look at you guys and be like, maybe they're gay or maybe they're a little bit into it. Like it never did cross my mind. So that's just something that I think is very important for a lot of whoever is watching this. That if you are a straight male, don't be afraid to do the not so stereotypical masculine genres. Like take jazz, take ballet. It's only going to make you a better dancer. Um, a lot of people that aren't ignorant will we won't look at you and be like, oh, that person's gay. Like, and even at that, I think, who the F cares? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you're bettering yourself, and that's all that matters. Like,
Yeah.
who are you to judge me? So, sorry. I go in tangents, so you have to like check me.
I like
That's what this is
completely,
for.
yeah, I completely like appreciate that because I think for me it was kind of a struggle on like I didn't naturally move that way, so I actually like, dang, I gotta figure this thing out. But then like,
Yeah.
and then of course, Cello used to always tell us like, stop, you don't always have to dance like that. You can dance like a guy, like, make it like manly. And I was like, how the heck do I do this? No, because it's already unnatural movement for me. So I
Yeah.
really think about it and like, yeah, it was something I had to work at. So personally, I really appreciate that.
No, and the thing is too, like, and this goes with a lot of things in life, or like a lot of things in artistry, is like you need to learn the rules in order to break it. So like learning the you gotta have the ballet fingers and all the correct positions, and then from there you can tweak it to make it more masculine.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
So yeah,
good.
it definitely takes work. But yeah, so I was at Hyper Squad. My that was that's my my origin story. Hyper Squad for, I believe, 2 years. 2003 and 2004. Um, and then 2004 is when I got a different job. So I didn't have the same availability, so I couldn't really take classes from there as much. And that's also when I started teaching at 808.
Hmm.
Um, so when I was dating Don, we're kind of I was living with him, and we would have our little moments where like, oh, let's choreograph to this song or choreograph to this, just for fun. And it eventually got to the point where he felt that I should try actually teaching. So he let me sub his class one time, um, and apparently they liked it. So I came back and taught more. And eventually it got to the point where the board asked me if I wanted to teach and be a regular dancer. I mean, be a regular teacher and have my own class. And the rest is history. Oh, also, I forget what year, but it was the Once Upon a concert for 24/7.
Uh-huh.
Um, I think I was gone from Hyper Squad. I think I was maybe about a year or two into 808, and Don and well, Don was consistently taking classes there because he was able to, he had the availability to. Um, but yeah, I was able to take JJ's classes, so I was in his number, the Aladdin number. That was my year of 24/7 company. I was on the dance floors. I was like, I gotta work. I was I remember I was only in that one number, but Marcelo said, "Why don't you just audition for company? Like
Hmm.
that way you can." I was like, "Oh yeah, sure." Um, it's so funny. I remember this. It was at we were at the theater, and I was on stage, and I was doing one of my combos that I've taught at the studio. And at the end, I busted out hands up, and he was like, "How did you learn that?" I was like, "From what concert? The 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 Bible one where it was like about
Is it creation?
uh, creation. It was
Okay.
creation. I was so obsessed with that concert. I was so obsessed with that opening number. Opening number. Was it in the beginning with the drums and
I'm
everything? And
here for that one, but yes, I think that was
oh, but yeah. So I taught myself hands up,
nice.
and and then also, okay, from Hyper Squad, I also taught myself how to do like a backflip kind of a thing. And I remember I was like, okay, I gotta throw in my backflip. So at the very end, I tried to backflip, and I almost landed on my head because I was so tired at that point, and I didn't think, okay, like I need full energy to get the height and everything, and it was like, oh, are you okay? I'm like, yeah, I'm good.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I think I do remember you trying to learn that back tuck at Hyper Squad.
Yes, it was at that gym around the corner.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's,
It was for because I it was one of the concerts. He wanted like a bunch of the boys. Jason wanted a bunch of the boys to like. Okay, so there was half of us that were the, I guess the props
yep.
or the us,
Yep.
and we. So I was one of those guys. I was doing this, and I had to like push the other one, and then we would have breaks. So I would just play on the different things, and then on the that trampoline runway.
Uh-huh.
I was just going for it, and it, like because of the foam pit, I was just like, ah, whatever. And I eventually learned. I was like, oh my god.
But see, that's dope. Like you're just playing around. Like I think that's how a lot of it is. But also, Jason makes people do things that like, like just do it. Like I don't know how, but okay.
Go, Larry.
Yeah, shout out Larry. Layout. Yeah, we lost Larry for a second. He had to drop off Levi somewhere.
Okay.
So, okay. Um, where did how did you get into makeup then?
Um, so when I got into Macy's, I was in the women's shoes department, and we were right next to Mac. Um, in our women's shoes department, where we worked solely off a commission,
Mm-hmm.
and it was a large department, so it was the manager. The managers wouldn't really be on our cases, like they wouldn't be like, get back to work, because they know if we don't work, we don't make money. Excuse me. Also, it was hard to keep track of like the amount of associates that there were.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Which
so when it was, what was that?
which Macy's did you work at?
Ala Moana. Um, yeah, so there was a lot of downtime at certain points. So I, of course, me being Mr. Aloha, would make friends. Um, and I would just like play around with their stuff and like, oh, let me try, I'll try. And um, the artist there would say like, you're kind of a natural. Like, and which kind of makes sense because growing up, like I was always like, if you give me a coloring book and a set of crayons, like I'm golden. So that was always a thing for me. So it made sense that it just something that came natural to me. My mom was also a really good artist. She did she did like a Cecilio Capuno artwork of their album cover. Like it was that dot artwork. And it
Oh,
was, yeah, it was crazy.
uh,
Yeah, so it got to the point where I was like, I was borrowing their brushes and borrowing their testers and take it to the stockroom and put makeup on my coworkers. Oh my gosh. A, a lot of good experiences with that, but I remember this one time I tried to do a smoky eye and like looking back on it now, I feel so bad, but at back then I thought it looked good. But looking back on it now, like she literally had like
black eye.
it was a black eye. It was so black, and it was like theater, not even theater makeup. It was like way more dramatic than theater makeup. It's so funny thinking back on it now.
That's amazing. So, okay, what point in dance is this? Like, this what you're telling me how you got into makeup and dance? Like, where were you?
Um, I think I was just teaching at 808. Yeah. Um, yeah, I was just teaching at I wasn't really doing anything else as far as dance goes. Yeah, I was just teaching at 808.
Okay. Um, how I guess how has that helped your makeup style? How has dance helped on your makeup side? Did it have any effect? Did it help with your dancing? Because maybe now you're doing makeup for, when you're doing performances.
Um, so when I was first getting relatively good at it, uh, I remember holding like sort of like a workshop thing at the studio to kind of give them the basics. Um, I guess that kind of helped me realize that it was also something that I wanted to teach. Like I feel like my family, we like to teach. We're like natural born teachers. Um, like instructing people on how to do certain things. I felt I enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where it started for me to I wanted to be able to teach this to people. So that's kind of the route I want to go as far as my makeup.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, if it wasn't, well, I don't know if it wasn't, but that was the start of me wanting to instruct people on how to do makeup and teach them was that one workshop I had. I was like I wasn't even I was good, like I was decent.
Uh-huh.
Um, but I think the knowledge I had would be able to, the studio would benefit from it.
Mhm.
Um, yeah. So
Okay. I'm gonna back up a little bit. So, what were some things that you took away? Because, I mean, you mentioned 7, or you started with hype, you mentioned 7, 808. Like, what is something that you took away from each studio that uh, speaks to you
what
now?
was that last?
Like, was one thing that you took from each studio that maybe shaped you or helped shape you to become who you are? Like, maybe for a dance, like what lessons did you learn? I guess because every studio is different. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Um, I think the biggest thing is seeing more than one side to everything. I want to say that is the biggest lesson that I've learned being involved with multiple studios. Um, as far as dance wise goes, like definitely being versatile, like being able to do different people's styles. Uh, See, like it when I was in Hyper Squad, I was really I was literally like an amateur, like I was a novice. That was my first 2 years of really seriously dancing.
Huh.
So it's all a blur, to be honest. um, 24/7. Well, okay. There's a lot of different things that I style wise, like I remember like depending on whose classes I was taking, that's kind of like it's almost like I was possessed by these choreographers where it would come out in my choreography.
Hmm.
Um, so that would be one of the other things where, you know, something that I got out of it was being inspired by different choreographers and different styles and not being put into this one box of okay, so this is your style. I mean, that is my style, but my style is to be broad. Like
Right.
I don't have a specific style. Um, Now that I don't get to take as much classes being an adult, well, I mean, I was an adult back then, but working more, I don't get to take as much classes. So my style has now been kind of locked in. Like it's whatever I maybe watch on YouTube or I don't know. It's just whatever comes out of my brain. So it was really good. Like that's another good thing about this whole quarantine thing is like being able to take all these people's classes and learning from them. It's definitely it's I finally choreographed a piece while I was in quarantine and I noticed that I the combo had like a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little, you know, like from people that I was taking during quarantine.
Mhm.
Um, Tangent.
No, it's fine.
Oh, like probably one of the biggest things well, when I was in 24/7's concert, probably one of the biggest things that I took back to 808 was staging.
Mm.
Like I wasn't I looking back on it, I wasn't as successful, I think, but it opened my mind to different directions and different ways how to enter and different ways how to exit and formations and being exposed to it. Like I would see it
Mhm.
on VHS and stuff, but being in it really, like, I was able to absorb it better, and it really came out in my numbers where, like, I would watch the old DVDs and I would be like, oh, okay, yeah, this is when I was in 24/7, because, like, just look at what am I doing?
That's funny.
Yeah.
No, I mean, what were you saying about, like, you know, when you were taking for certain choreographers and you would choreograph, it would come out in a certain way, and I think that was very. I mean, that's probably really true for, you know, everybody. Um, for the longest time, well, when I was in LA training under Fee and like Jafar, I felt like I just moved like that, and
Yeah.
I think when I moved home, I didn't have those classes, and then it was like I was still kind of moving like them, but then it kind of evolved to, well, how do I move? Like, how, you know what I mean? Then I think that's when I started to settle into me as an artist,
Yeah.
which is kind of a funk. At least for me, it was. It was like, what is this? Like, this is kind of, yeah, I don't know. It took some figuring out. Like,
Yeah, definitely.
I still feel like, you know, I'm still ever changing, which I guess is good. But yeah, very much influenced by like my friends. Like, what are they doing? Like, I keep tabs on them with YouTube or taking their classes online. So it's yeah, it's. I think that's just how it is. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's dope. It's dope. The main thing is that you found you.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
Like it'll always be in the back pocket kind of a thing where, like, maybe subconsciously it'll come out or certain things, but yeah.
yeah. That'll be like your foundation. Yes.
Hmm.
Okay. What is your idol at 808? Because I know you guys have a different way of like the hierarchy. There's a board and everything, right?
Uh-huh. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like I guess from
Oh, what is it?
like from an outside perspective, like I've only caught glimpses of it, and you know, other studios is just dancer, choreographer, director, like or one
Hmm.
director. So 808 is how is it structured?
So it's gone through its evolutions, but currently we have the board of directors, which is the Ayas and the Baldonaros, the two remaining families that own the studio.
Mm.
So they're like the back end of things. And then we have the directors, which are who are Casey, Melody, and then Aaron is the artistic director.
Okay.
So it's the three of them.
Okay.
And then senior choreographer and teacher. It's so crazy because I think this year makes my 16th year with them. Yeah, 16. Um, and like I pretty much, like, all the teachers, the three of the Erin, Mel, and Casey, they were all like I taught them, and now I'm like teaching. I'm teaching kids of my past kids.
Yeah.
When that happened, I was like, oh God.
Yep. Mm-hmm. I'm like right there with you.
Yeah. Which reminds me, we still have to do our, okay, so back then it was we were supposed to do our our well, our old man's crew, like the 30 and up crew. Me, you, I think Will.
Oh yeah, Will. Yeah, there's
Now it's gonna have to be the 40s crew now.
yeah, 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 40 crew. Oh my goodness. Um, okay, yeah. Yeah, with 24/7, yeah, we have, you have your dancers, you have your choreographers, and then you have Marcelo. Well, you have Alan, who's the director of our kids program next, and then he's also the assistant director to the adults, yeah, and then you have Marcelo, and then we have a board. So somewhat kind of similar, a little different.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Um, that is, I think that's one thing that like I always find interesting is how other studios. Well, I think now that I'm getting older, it's interesting to see how other studios run their business. You know.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, that's pretty interesting. Okay. Let's get to the fun stuff. Well, not to say that wasn't fun stuff, but let's uh, things that the stories that probably no one would hear. So what's one horror and one hilarious backstage story that has happened to you as a performer or a choreographer?
Um, I don't think anything really bad happened to me that I can think of, or maybe it was just that bad that I forced it out of my memory.
Or like an embarrassment?
Um,
How about that?
I'm just that good. um, mm, I don't think anything really embarrassing either. I mean, I'm pretty sure with all the different concerts that we've had, that I've been in the last 17 years, um, I'm pretty sure something happened, but nothing really big that I was like, oh my God. One horror story. It's not really a horror story of me, but I experienced it. Was at one of Hyper Squad's concerts that I remember being in the wings, and all I hear is this. It was blackout, and all I hear is "Boosh," and it was Marcy Cabusel. Well, she's now Marcy Nicholas, um, and her and somebody else. I don't even know if to this day we found out who that other person was, but they banged into each other, and her mouth was bleeding.
Uh,
And I was like, oh my God. So I ran. I remember running to like where they had the refrigerators and whatnot, LCC, and I grabbed the like a bunch of the paper towels and I brought it to her. And I remember someone like, oh, you're so smart. You brought the paper towels. That's a lot more sanitary. And I was like, oh, I didn't really think about that, but yay. But yeah, that was pretty scary. Like
that is
it
scary.
was like blood. Um,
Oh man.
Maybe not really a horror story, but I remember it was a pretty difficult thing to do. But it was one of Star Kajiyama's numbers. It was a like a beginning intermediate jazz kind of a production where it was kind of, I don't know if it was like Egypt-ish or it was very one of those kind of things like, and Jason constructed those platform things out of wood, and it was like so heavy, and
Uh-huh.
there was three of them, so a total of 12 boys. I was one of the 12 boys that had to carry those things on our shoulders while the girls were on point. I think mine's was Jennifer Perry, and they were dancing on point on those wooden things, and we're like, oh my God, it's so heavy. That was great. I mean, it was an epic number though. It was iconic, and till this day, whenever I hear that song, I mean, it's actually a song that a lot of studios use, but that's one of the main memories that will come to mind when I hear that song is holding those platforms, those heavy wooden platforms, while Jennifer Perry danced on point. Oh my God.
I'm gonna hit her up and be like, "Hey, I heard you heavy." uh, I'm just kidding. Well, what's funny is she's indirectly, well, not indirectly, but she's like Calabash cousin, so through marriage. So
Yeah.
Jen and I have been gotten a lot closer. So I can be like, "Hey." See, and it's those kind of things that, like, okay, as a choreographer, you don't really think about, or even as a dancer, someone tells you, hold this, and they're gonna is calling me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you don't really think about it. You just think, oh, this is gonna be a great idea, and then you actually do it, and you're like, oh fuck, what did I? That's awesome. Oh, we got Larry driving. Larry, just let him drive, brother. Um, okay, yeah, those are. Uh, let's see. What is what is the worst and best? This is like
Wait, worst or best memory that what?
of your
The
dance,
dancing.
your best and worst memory of your dance studio director.
Um,
Any of them.
best and worst memory. Okay, so there's a lot of stuff. I personally haven't experienced. So okay, so one of the original director, Kamalani Wilson. There's many stories. I personally haven't had to experience it, like the horror stories. Um, but there was this one concert where, I mean, back then he used to take care of so many numbers. We didn't have the kind of staff that we do now, so he used to take care of a lot of numbers. So I get it, but I remember for one of the opening numbers that he choreographed, he was dancing in it, and he did he it wasn't in his muscle memory, so he was always like a beat late, or you would always see him be like looking at the other girls. And at that point, I was pretty close with him. Like I was comfortable. We were friends, and so me being me, I mean, the people that know me know that I throw shade, but all in love, and it wasn't meant for ill. It wasn't an ill intention, but I called him out on it. I was like, I forget how I worded it, but it was in a jokingly manner, and he got upset. He got offended. But eventually he came back and he said, "You know what? To be honest, I'm grateful that you called me out because you were right. I it and it pushed him to like get on it and um, practice to the point where he wasn't looking like that, And I was just like, "You're welcome."
That's so. I haven't heard his name in a very long time. Come on,
You haven't what?
long time.
You're breaking up.
Oh,
Wait, hold on. I wonder if hold on, maybe it's a fan. Okay, try again.
okay, yeah, no. Kama is somebody that I haven't heard from or heard his name in a very long time, and I just remember hearing stories about him, like mystery figure to me.
Yeah, and that's the thing too, like I I've heard many stories about many people and directors and choreographers, but it I personally did not experience it or I was not there, so I can't really one I learned not to judge off of it. I can only judge by how what I experience. I mean, it's good to kind of keep that in the back of your head so that you maybe have a better idea of what might be going on, um, but yeah. Life lesson for all of you watching is don't be quick to pass judgment.
Yes.
There's one side, there's a second side, and then there's one story, there's second story, and then there's the truth. So
Yes. Very much.
always keep that in mind when you hear all these rumors and stories and the tea. Oh my gosh.
Yes, that is very true. Um, okay. What, how do you stay motivated and how do you train in this time right now?
Like in quarantine.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, just being on being on top of like seeing everybody's schedules, what people are posting on IG, like, okay, I'm teaching over at, I'm teaching here. I mean, at this time, or um, yeah, I've been kind of like making sure I go through certain individual stories because they'll always post schedules. Um, Motivation, I think for me, it comes and goes. Like there have been weeks where I'm like, I don't want to take any classes this week. Like I just need to focus on getting my things together. Like there was one week that I had to move rooms, so I just completely stopped taking classes to focus on moving my room and organizing everything, and I
Mm-hmm.
don't know, and then but yeah, it comes and goes. Uh, I think a big thing is a big motivator for me is that for me, it's not it's not something that I'll be able to take advantage of all the time. Like being able to learn from all these people. Once this is all over, it's back to me working a regular job, 40 hours a week, and I won't have time to take class. So that's kind of like the biggest thing for me is like I need to take advantage of it now while I can.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the
Definitely.
nice thing too is like when you take class in the convenience of your own room or in your own house, your own home, like you don't have to do the whole thing full out. There's been classes where I'll take class and I'll just mark it the whole time.
Mm.
But it's like being there, learning it, like absorbing what the choreographer has to say, either about the piece or about certain techniques. Like I've learned whenever I take class from somebody I've never taken class before, like there's always a certain technique, like not necessarily jazz technique, but just like weight distribution or
Mm.
how to move your body a certain way. There's always something that is there to learn, and that's another big thing. Like I'll try and look for choreographers that I've always wanted to take class from.
Yes.
Like I finally took class from Jen, who you just had before me
Yeah.
on the podcast. And I remember Jen from back in creation days. Like I mean, I've never met her. Like we were never really friends, but I would always see it was always Jen and what's her name, Janelle
The reg.
Dureg. Yeah. Um, I would always see them, and I would always be like, damn, they're badass. So to finally get to take class from Jen, it was really nice. Yeah.
Yeah. Jen is she's pretty dope. But yeah, no, no, totally. Definitely the right time to take advantage to take classes from any really, and that's definitely one good thing. Like, I mean, there are other many good things that because of this whole lockdown,
Mhm.
it's great. But now, like, the doors are wide open on everything. But for me personally, because I'm very critical, it 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 makes me slightly intimidated because now I my class is up against like all these other people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Essentially. So yeah. But yeah, definitely. It's good that you were able to take other classes. Okay, we have 3 minutes left. Uh,
Wow.
what time flew on.
That's yeah.
What is one piece of advice that you have for someone uh, starting or wanting to start dancing or dancing that is thinking professional, or that you would like to say to those professional dancers out there now?
Um, I said it earlier, like learn everything. Like if I could, I would learn tap. You know, like there is something in every genre that you will be able to benefit from and grow as a dancer and become a better dancer. If you can go like okay, so if you want to pursue it being, you know, to be professional, if you can go to an audition and you can throw out all these different genres and all these different styles in one piece, I mean, or in one audition, then they're going to see one, how much passion you have for the craft, two, your ability
Uh-oh.
pretty much be able to adapt to any
Name
situation,
it.
which you're going to have to if you're a professional.
Oh,
But even just to be, even if you're not wanting to be a professional, if you want to just be a good dancer, like having, like, okay, the biggest thing I will say is even if you're a hip hop dancer or a b-boy, take jazz or ballet. But jazz is a little bit easier. But having that foundation changed the game for me. Like being able to spot like makes your moves so much better. And like just being able to find your center and you know the whole concept of weight distribution,
yeah.
weight placement, like all these foundation types of uh, elements that stretch across any genre, it you know that's gonna make you that much better. So learn your technique, learn your rules so you know how to break them.
Yes. Yeah. That is one thing I learned is that it was so that ballet helps my hip hop dancing, and I was like, and then I thought about it, and it's like, okay, because you're really learning your body, like you're learning how it moves, you're learning what muscles connect to what. So yes, what you are saying is 1,000%.
Yeah.
All right, 2 minutes, Larry. We got 2 minutes. Oh, we got a minute and like 30 seconds. You want to say
Ask
anything?
him who did you have to carry in that one star number where we're carrying the platforms and had the girls on point. I think you were with me. Were you with me holding up Jen Perry?
Oh, I can't hear. Larry, I can't hear you. Wait, hold on. Say
I have a feeling that he was with me because we're all the same height.
it. It's me, you, and him. He said it was you. He was with you.
Oh yeah. Yeah, because I remember we had to all be the same height, and me and Larry we were pretty much exact same height. So I remember we were in the same group.
Nice, nice. Um, okay, we got like 50 seconds. I want to thank you for being
Yeah.
here and for sharing. I think we're gonna have to bring you back because there's so much more. I feel like you have to offer and to talk about.
For sure.
Right?
Yeah, yeah, Shane, thank you. I mean, I'm sorry I had to dip out for a little bit, but it's so
No
refreshing.
worries, you're not that important anyway, so.
Oh,
Somebody who's passionate but wise and smart, and also just cares about the.
yeah. Thank you so much. Um, we're Where can people follow you? Quickly, 10 seconds.
Shane Instagram 8. I'm also on YouTube. I'm also on Facebook. Shane Gillia.
Very nice. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for